Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here on this hump day. Today, friends, the Cowboys get back on the practice field getting ready for the New England Patriots. And man, I tell you what, this game is huge. It's big. This is the opportunity to kind of kill a lot of the talking points that the talking heads have. That the Cowboys can only beat teams that are bad, that the Cowboys aren't a contender, that Dak Prescott is not an MVP, that Jason Garrett cannot coach, that Zeke Elliott can no longer run and doesn't have a burst, the Dallas Cowboys can't stand prosperity, that somehow, some way, the Cowboys will get in the way. All of these things can come to a head. And it's a tall task because New England, let's face it, they don't lose at home. Early weather reports that I saw yesterday were temperatures in the 40s, rain, snow possibly mixed out there. So typical New England weather, but at least it's not like going to be like 10 degrees. You can handle being wet and 40 a lot better than say wet and 10 and they're blowing snow off the field. I said yesterday how the Dallas Cowboys get the win. And a lot of people laughed at me. But then again, people are always laughing at me. That's just the way it goes. But I think that the Dallas Cowboys actually match up well, with the main key being one person who hasn't played well the last two games, and that's Zeke Elliott. New England, their offense isn't what it used to be. Tom Brady isn't what he used to be. Tom Brady, over the course of the last 7 games, has only had 7 TDs and 5 interceptions. That's not the Tom Brady we've known over the years, say 3, 4, 5 years ago. This offense is not putting up a lot of points. Think about this: New England against a garbage ass Eagles secondary. No offense to you Eagles. I'm just saying that your secondary, you'll be the first one to say our secondary stinks. Tom Brady only put up 214 yards on that secondary. On that defense, they only put up 17 points on that defense. Think about them playing against Buffalo. Their offense only put up 9 points. They got a defensive takeaway for a touchdown that ended up being the difference maker in that game. This offense does not score like it used to. And the thing that you have to have against Tom Brady is pressure in his face. The Giants did it to him twice in the Super Bowl. The Eagles did it to him in the Super Bowl. He does not like to get hit. And he is not producing the way he once did. All you Cowboy fans that are dreaming of, they're going to let Dak walk or we're going to get Tom Brady would be the dumbest thing in the world to take a guy who's going to be 43 or 44, however old, for a young stud who is doing laps around Tom Brady's numbers right now. That's the first thing, that matchup that I see is going to be good for us because New England does not run the ball that well. Thank God, because that is our Achilles heel, so to speak, on defense. The problem for New England on that defense is their run defense isn't as good as their passing defense. They give up 4.6 yards a carry. And you got to look at the teams that they've faced thus far this year. Um, None of them have a Zeke Elliott. Now, I know Zeke Elliott has not been able to get going. The offensive line has not been opening up those holes where Zeke can get started and just blow through that hole. I get that. But this is an opportunity to get that running game going. This is an opportunity with bad weather, cold, rainy, wet, that you're going to need to see Zeke. And Zeke, you have to. You got to, my man. You got to earn that contract this Sunday. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't know if you fast between now and then so you are hungry and eat, but you got to do something. Because here's the thing. We got a game and a half lead on the Eagles, and the Eagles don't look very good. The Eagles just look like a bad team. But they got a lot of games against a lot of bad teams coming up. After they play Seattle, we're basically the only other team in there that's got more than about 2 wins that they'll be facing. You need this win to feel good about yourself. You need this win to be a statement. You need this win to set the tone for the rest of the season and to get the monkey off your back. You got to do it. For Dak and the wide receiving core, hey, that secondary of theirs is really good. Is really good. Stephon Gilmore and crew, but you'll have your points. Because even with the garbage receivers that the Eagles had against them, Carson Wentz still threw 214 yards. Should have been about 270 had my man Aguilar caught that pass in the end zone. And they could have actually tied the game. Now, if you at all believe that the Cowboys are better than the Eagles and should be able to put up a better fight with running the football, as well with better receivers, as well with a better quarterback, then you have to kind of look at that a little differently. The X factor, of course, is you're playing in New England against Bill Belichick. That is the one thing that you have to look at and say we are overmatched, is the mad scientist, Bill Belichick. But, I'm going to go ahead and put a conspiracy theory out here. Everybody else got them. Why can't I? Bill Belichick rarely makes mistakes. Rarely does he let players go that could have helped his team. Jason Garrett and Bill Belichick, Jason Garrett went up to see him this offseason. Bill Belichick would know if Michael Bennett had anything in the tank, right? With 136 plays for New England, 136 plays, he had 2.5 sacks and 5 tackles. And you look at that and say, well, it was only 2.5 sacks and 5 tackles. But I correlated this. This is where I sat down and crunching the numbers. He only had that number because he didn't play that much. He only played, I think, 36 plays in the first game. After that, it's basically next to nothing for the rest of the season. But I figured if he played half of the defensive snaps for the Cowboys, that he would end up with 6 sacks. That's what I put out there when we first signed him. I said if the Cowboys use him for half of the snaps, if he gets the same production that he had in New England, he should get 6 sacks. Well, thus far, he's actually beating my prediction because he's already got 3 sacks in 3 games. He's got 6 more games to get 3 more sacks, and I think he'll get them. Bill Belichick knows that that guy can still play. It wasn't about him playing on the field. It was about him getting on the field. Yet Bill Belichick traded Michael Bennett for basically a ham sandwich to the Dallas Cowboys, knowing that he was going to be playing him in a couple of weeks. To Jason Garrett, a friend. Now you've given a team you have to face a player that's going to be pissed off, that knows your system and playbook. He tossed him a major bone. If the Cowboys were to go into New England, win this game, you realize that Jason Garrett basically at least in my mind. This win would be so big for the Dallas Cowboys franchise and Jerry Jones and everything else, being that this is probably going to be the most watched game of the season, even though it's a 4 o'clock game. It will be the most watched game this weekend, if not all season. If the Cowboys were to win here and win this game, it would be huge for the Dallas Cowboys and the networks as well. The talking heads will have a field day. And this gets you to start thinking about, there's certain things that you could look at and say, it's kind of funny that this kind of worked out just that way. I'm not saying that anything's rigged, but think about the storylines and think about, just hear me out here, conspiracy theory. If somehow, some way, Cowboys beat New England, and it ended up being that the Cowboys and New England met at the Super Bowl. You may be talking about a Super Bowl that could break the internet. I'm just saying. I still believe the Dallas Cowboys get this win in Foxborough. You can call me crazy all week, but I tell you what, if you can call me crazy, come Monday, come in and say, Mark, you were right. I got to go get to my day job since nobody's paying me to sit here and talk like other people. Hope you guys have a great day, and I can't wait till Sunday. I'll see you soon.